Hi, welcome back to Tiny Classrooms Live.
Hi, the doctor here, Don Zulu in Taos, New Mexico.
And I'm Artie Nathan, the HR guy here in the Adirondack Mountains in upstate New York. And our topic today is building a culture of courage that empowers your virtual team to do its best.
Courage is an interesting term, isn't it, for leadership? And we all know that those of us who've been in leadership positions that you've got to kind of wrap your head around the idea that I've got to be courageous. And so we ground ourselves in self-certainty, if you will. And, leaders are like emotional barometers, right? They provide cues, feedback to everyone around them and on how to respond and how to behave. So if you're afraid or nervous or upset about it, you're going to telegraph that and it's going to have a powerful effect on your team. So, before you focus on strategies, before process, get your head and your heart in the right place, right? Ground yourself in what we call self-certainty, right? Be clear about what you want and who you are as a leader. And only then can your message really come across positively and powerfully to your employees and to your team members.
And I think you have to encourage everyone to participate, and
Mhm.
that takes courage.
Yeah.
Mostly people participate whether they want to or not because you're there facilitating it. You're asking questions, you're listening, you're making sure that people are in the conversation. You've got to be very active as a leader in this regard because your allies and leaders may not be around. And so it's up to you. So by encouraging people, that gives them the courage to participate.
That's right. That's right. That's very good. And and this is an interesting idea that we want to reward loyal dissent. Right?
Yeah.
It's as important in a team to have people who are willing and it's safe to dissent, to say, I don't agree, I think about it this way or that way, to be safe so that they can do it. Otherwise, you're gonna miss out on 50% of the strength of your team.
And these are such strange times
Mm.
where it's new for everybody. So getting them, as I said, to participate, some people will be right and some people will be wrong and some people will agree or disagree. Nothing wrong with that. A good, healthy discussion will get your team closer together while they're virtually apart.
That's absolutely right. And in the context of that, we want to treat our people as trustworthy, trust dash worthy, right? You are worthy of my trust. I trust you because of who you are and what you're capable of. And that's incredibly important. It's kind of like human nature for people to rise to the level of expectation of others, isn't it? And so if I have high expectations of you and I trust you, you're likely to rise to the occasion.
And we've mostly operated in our lives on the principle of out of sight, out of mind. Well,
Yeah.
everybody's out of sight now, and you've got to make sure that they're not out of mind.
Mhm.
And by doing that, you show them that you know about them and that you trust them. And
That's right.
that'll go a long way.
It will, and that leads almost naturally into the idea of destigmatizing failure. All of us as human beings, man, all the way from grade school, we were afraid of failing. We didn't want to stick our hand up in case we got the wrong answer to the teacher's question. But here in this world, in this virtual work world, we can't afford that. People have to be able to fail in order to succeed.
It's not like we know what we're doing in every instance here because it's all new and it's a new frontier. And so you have to be trying things and you have to be failing at some things in order to learn what the right things are.
Yeah, absolutely right. God knows you and I have, Artie, and here we are. We're still standing. And we want to also ensure people know that you've got their back. Well, isn't it? Go ahead. I think that's a good point for you.
Well, people don't know what you're thinking. And so you have to be clear and open and transparent. And when they have a question, you have to be there to answer them. When they have a problem, you have to be there to help them solve it. When they have some needs, you've got to be a good coach to help get them from where they are to where they need to be. All of these things telegraph to them that you're there for them, that you've got their back. And that's so critically important. Look, we want to be part of a team. We want to belong. And the way we belong best is by knowing that the team is really cohesive and coherent around them.
That's absolutely right. I mean, people do their best work when they feel appreciated for who they are, not what they do.
And they they all want to be part of something that's mission critical.
Mm.
And most of our work is we do it because it has to get done. But then there are things that are mission critical. If we all don't participate, if we all don't put our shoulders to the same wheel going in the same direction, then there won't be the solidarity to get something done. And again, remember, when you're in the office, you're taking visible cues from people. You're listening and watching and hearing and sensing. But when you're virtual, there's none of that. So you, as the leader, have to build that solidarity by pointing out what others are doing, asking some to, do this, don't do that, and get them all engaged and involved. And that kind of participation really builds team. But it takes courage on your part and their part to give up the things that you used to know for the things that are going on now.
Yeah, in effect, we have to be sure that everyone is clear about what lays at stake if we don't pull together. What's the downside if we don't pull together? That's critical for people to know. And in yours and my experience, when people know that, they buckle their belts up and pull together because it's so important. So
Well,
that's
that's our message for today. And we want to thank you for joining us. And as always, let us know what you think. Let us know what you're thinking about and would like us to talk about, and we'll join in with you. Thanks again.
yeah. Thank you for being here today.